In this video, we're going to be doing a Glasses Anatomy 101 class. So I'm going to take my pair of glasses here and just go over the different components of glasses and how they work. And when a lot of us talk some shop about different parts of the frame, the lens, the temple, the bridge, different things like that, what these parts are and what they mean for you. So let's start with my pair of glasses here. When you look at them, they're kind of clear. They've got this little green little section on the inside portion here, but I'll be going over different sections of that here in a few moments. So let's start with the front of the lens. This part right here that I'm pointing to, that is what we call the bridge. That's the bridge that is literally a bridge over your nose that sits there. Now, the bridge usually goes well for people that kind of have an elongated nose. Sometimes if your nose is a little bit more flat, the bridge is a little bit cumbersome, which leads right into this part here called these aren't nose pads. This is called a semi-saddle bridge style nose pad. But this is where nose pads can be attached with screws and different things that kind of just sit on your nose right here. If you kind of watch, glasses just sit right there. They press up against my nose, not hard, but just enough to keep their position, basically. But those can really help to keep the glasses in position and can sometimes slide down if they get a little sweaty, or if you need to just do this to read up close, if they're reading glasses or something like that, usually. Now, we move on to this other section over here called the temple. This is what goes across right here. This is your temple right here on the side of my head. This temple component rests about here. And then this is the temple arm back here, which goes behind your ears. So if you kind of watch what I'm about to do here, my temple rests like right here. It doesn't tug the ears that much, but it's supposed to sit there to keep them in position. Then you have the lenses, which are the clear lenses inside of these frames that gives me my prescription to help me see far away as well as up close. This can be dialed to any number of prescription powers that exist out there for farsightedness, nearsightedness, astigmatism, even having a bifocal, trifocal, or progressive, which is usually placed in the bottom component of the lenses. You also have on these little temples right here, there's these little, let me see if I get this in focus. You got these little screws and hinges right here that allow the frames to bend inward depending on if you have a large head and they need to open up, or if you have a smaller head and they need to close in just a little bit more. And there's different numbers on the sides of the frame, the bridge, different things that we use in industry to kind of keep track of what our inventory is, whether it's an A, B, effective diameter, bridge size, temple size, different things like that. You'll see different numbers on there. Ask your eye care professional of what those mean, because it varies from store to store depending on what the measurement of the frame is and if it can be ordered online or if it's specific to in-house or different things like that. And there's even been people I've known that have 3D printed their own frames, which is kind of interesting stuff to get into, but at the same time, it may not be the right style, because usually those of us in eye care kind of have a trend of what's going on, of what people are getting into as far as popular frame styles. Do they want big? Do they want small? Do they want cat eye? Do they want horizontal? Do they want vertical? Do they want circular? Different things like that a lot of people get into. So the styles come and go. And if you even go back over since like 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and even into 2020s, all the frame styles are a little bit different from one another because of what people are preferring to wear. So something that was popular way back in the day was called this double bridge bar. I don't have this, but basically it's like one bridge and a second bridged, one on top of the other, and some of them can even have nose pads on them, which is really interesting because some of these styles do come back around. Once they were popular, kind of faded, now they're coming back. So really interesting stuff to get into when you look at the anatomy of how your glasses work. And that's the brief breakdown of how these glasses work. And there's something that you may hear a lot of called your pupillary distance. So the pupillary distance, also the PD, basically is the distance between the pupil, the black hole in the middle of the iris right here, from one eye to the other eye. And it takes a professional to truly measure your PD accurately, an eye care professional specifically. This can be an optician, optometrist, ophthalmologist that measure this regularly every single day. So we use different measurement tools, methods, and different things that kind of help us determine if someone's got a traditional horizontal pupillary distance, or if maybe one eye sits a little bit higher compared to the other, which would help when we measure what's called a monocular PD, different things like that. So it's extremely important that whenever your glasses are made up, that the correct pupillary distance is put into consideration for all of that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell for notifications and to learn more about your eyes. I'm Dr. Bryce Heffington. We'll see you next time.